Woo-wee, these roads, boy. We ain't in Florida no more.
But this guy got a little special order, and what do you had?
I am special.
What's up, dog? How you doing? This is so tough looking.
Plenty of power all the way to the end. Woo!
What's up, Block fam? This is going to be a special episode. We are in Henderson, Nevada with Indian Motorcycles, checking out the PowerPlus 112 platform. Super stoked. All the bikes are lined up out here. Check this out. Sheesh. I'm not really a bagger person. I'll ride any motorcycle, so I'm super stoked to at least try these, especially Indian.
What's up? My name is Zach Herndon, here with the Brand Amp, helping with PR and putting this bad boy on. So stoked to have you out.
Oh yeah, man. He's helping me find my bike before I just go looking around at a bunch of bikes, because there's so many out here. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Woo-wee. Got the Blockhead Moto on the Indian thing. Super official out here. So I'm going to be on the all-new Chieftain with the PowerPlus 112 in the matte black finish. This is so tough looking. With them being inspired by American muscle, like I love all of the line work and everything. I personally drive a Dodge Challenger, and I know John's a big fan of American muscle, and so I would assume a lot of you guys are too. You could totally see the reflection of inspired by American muscle and all of the styling and the proportion when it comes to just how the bike looks sitting. I love the detailing with the front fender, dual disc rotors. You got Brembo calipers on both sides, which is super huge. Of course, you have the PowerPlus 112. The cool thing about the My PowerPlus platform is that they're super excited to have that on these bikes, because they actually won 3 out of the 5 King of the Bagger races with this motor. They did it in 2020, 2022, and 2024. It's fully liquid cooled, single overhead cam, which means it's got a higher RPM range. They were showing us dynographs yesterday, so I'm excited to twist the throttle on this bad boy. When it comes to Indian motorcycles, they are packed with a bunch of technology. They were telling us yesterday that a lot of it's right here. One of them is going to be this bike hold control, so if you're like on a hill or something, you'll firmly hold the front brake or firmly hold that rear brake, and what that's going to do is apply a little bit of brake pressure so the bike doesn't roll backwards or forward, and then to get out of that, you'll either just tap the brake or just roll on throttle. Another is the combined brake system, so you're gonna have your front and rear brake application be equal. Another feature is gonna be this tailgate warning, so if a car is either too close to you, and I think they said that there's like 2 levels of how close it's warning you that someone's coming up behind you. Another one is a rear collision warning. Now, this isn't something that's gonna show up on your end, but what's gonna happen is if you're at a stoplight and a car is approaching you, these lights will be flashing for the person behind you, so then that they know that you are in front of them. So it's a very cool safety feature that warns the people behind you. I know for me, in my personal experience, when I know somebody's approaching me from behind when I'm at a stoplight, I actually just tap on my front brake, so I know that the rear brake is flashing. So to have something like that built in where you don't even have to think about it is pretty cool. Another cool safety thing that they have is blind spot warning. So you'll have these lights built into the mirror on both sides, and so what that does, it's just like a car. It's your blind spot notification, so you know that somebody's on your blind spot on the right rear or the left rear. Although Indians are packed with so much technology, you do have the ability to turn it off. You're able to go into the settings and kind of dial in some of the sensitivity and or on and off. You have the adjustable windshield right here, which is really nice. Love the venting that's built into the front fairing. That headlight is nice and beautiful. And you got built-in speakers in it. Let's see, does this open right now? Plenty of bike storage. There is some of the cargo limits right there. Fully lockable, which is really nice. I'm about 5'6" and I weigh about 125 pounds. Not a big guy at all, but let me throw a leg over this so you guys can see what I look like throwing a leg over this.
no sweat.
There's the gauges right here. I kind of love the mixture of both. So you'll have like the digital screen right there. I love that you get the mix of analog and digital. Like I was saying, there you have all those safety features. If you wanted to toggle those on and off or kind of dial the sensitivity of those, you would actually just go into settings right here, all settings, and you go down here to the bottom left, which is bike. And then you have this rider assist right up top. So you'll click that and then you'll be able to see now here how you can toggle on and off and sort of dial in some of those safety features. You guys are familiar seeing this cat on the channel.
What up, what up?
But this is my first time finally meeting him in person. So that's what's up, man. What's up, dog? How you doing? What are you riding? You excited for the day?
I am, yeah, man. I'm on the Chieftain PowerPlus 112. Apparently they put me at the front. I don't know why. So,
I hate being in the front, dude.
yeah, but we're gonna send it and we're gonna have some fun, and that's why we use it.
Hell yeah, dog.
Yeah.
Another guy you guys have seen on the channel recently.
Oh, what's up?
Jace is here. Say what's up, dog.
What's up, guys?
Are you excited to be on this trip?
I'm excited to party.
This guy's always ready to party. I love it,
No,
man.
I'm excited. It's the first time I've ever ridden one of these. I've never rode anything with an Indian name on it, so this is the first.
Another guy you guys are familiar seeing on the Blockhead channel, Marble Kid. First time in person, which is crazy, man.
I know, since 2018, going strong. Our love for each other. I mean, I really.
Yeah, we were following each other like way in like, it's weird to say like OG days, but he was on the Sportster.
OG days.
I had a Sportster on my channel, and like we kind of connected, and then it's crazy to see where we are now, and now we're here meeting each other in person. This dude, everyone's on the PowerPlus 112, but this guy got a little special order in. What are you riding?
I am special.
So we are on the brand new Indian Sport Chief RT. Brand new for 2025. So you have the fairing, you have the audio, you have the 4-inch digital gauge right there. You got brand new for this year as well. The bags on the sides.
All right, man. Well, I'm looking forward to the ride.
Oh yeah, let's get it.
All right, so now we are in the helmet. We're gonna get the bike on. Ooh, nice little bagger boy. I like that the Indian Chieftain has some pretty simple controls. I'll try my best to go run through them really quick. You have that power button, hold that. Everything should power on here. Yep, there's the Indian logo. And then on the right here, you have your ignition. Woo, there we go. Looks like you have your cruise control right there. On the left side, you have your horn, high beam, low beam, turn signals left, turn signals right. You have your little joystick right here to control some of the music, and another switch right here, which if you press in, kind of zooms in to the GPS or zooms out. On the buttons down here, it looks like you could click this and then you kind of pull up this, which is really cool because if you go to this settings here, you can actually pick different widgets to then load onto that screen. If you go right here, you have this little music button, control the radio and everything. If you click here, obviously this can connect to your Bluetooth, to your phone. I'm not gonna do all that right now. Click this. This is your navigation button. And here, I'm gonna just stick on this screen. You know, for being a bagger, it so far, just like going a little slow out of this hotel place, it does feel like you could just flick it over and it's not gonna just like, the weight's gonna fall over on you or anything. It instills a little bit more confidence when leaning it over like this, especially for me where like I'm a shorter guy and you get nervous if you lean the bike too much that maybe it'll fall over on you, but it feels really nice dipping this thing over. I feel like when you're looking at these bikes, when you're not sitting on it, it feels like a whole lot of bike, and how would you be able to see over it? How would you handle it? But I'm telling you, when you throw a leg over this bike, it feels very user-friendly. All the visuals of the gauges, where your hands are, where your feet are, the way it handles. Sheesh. Oh yeah. It's gonna be nice to take this thing out in the middle of the desert, which, by the way, this is my first time ever riding in Nevada. I know it's gonna get even more beautiful, but even just over here looks so beautiful. This windshield is adjustable, so I would assume for anybody taller, you could really dial in that wind buffeting. I feel the wind like right here, so it's going right above me. At a stop, not too bad. My heels lifted up just a little bit, but I have no problem handling this bike. Let's dip this over in the corner a little bit. Yeah, this feels really nice. The wind coverage on this front fairing is so nice. I could see how this would be an amazing option for crushing miles. Man, I was really worried because I only had these mesh gloves, these like canvas gloves, that my hands were gonna get cold, but because of this front fairing, it takes the wind off of your hands. I mean, a lot of your whole body too, so really helps with, you know, if you're doing a long ride, that fatigue you get when you're just getting crushed by wind all the time. The bike feels nice and planted as you're accelerating and as you kind of dip this thing a little bit for turns. It definitely offers a nice nimbleness when it wants to dive into a corner. Oh yeah, feels nice and smooth. No, it's not wiggling. It doesn't make me feel unconfident. Oh yeah, that feels good. Screw. All right, looks like we're waiting to do the photo op thing. Before we do, I wanted to show something right here. Those safety features, they have this little widget here, which is cool. So you have the tailgate warning, blind spot warning, and bike hold control. And by just clicking these buttons, you can enable and disable those rider safety assists. I feel like it's also worth mentioning too that this fairing is fork mounted. It doesn't feel like it's adding so much weight to the front end as I want to dip this bike over, and even when I'm doing slow maneuvering turns. So far that feels really nice. At the end of that press shot, I didn't realize everybody was stopped and everybody kept coming in hot in the corners. So I do want to say that the brakes on this are very responsive. Dual disc in the front, Brembos. Pretty sure it might be a Brembo in the rear, I really don't know, but this thing was ready to stop and it had balance, stopping powers, especially with having to react last minute with everybody stopped just right around the corner. The PowerPlus 112 seems like plenty of power. What they were telling me about the single overhead cam is that it allows this engine platform to really ring out the RPM. So I know for me, I like to ride a little bit rowdy in my gears. So like I run each gear all the way to the end. So let's see if I can space out a little bit and run one of these gears all the way through. Look at that. Plenty of power all the way to the end. Woo! Damn, all the way until it's creeping in the red line, it doesn't feel like it's giving up. Shifting definitely has a very positive click with either each shift up and each shift down. With it being my first time on this Chieftain or a bigger bagger on roads that I don't know, on curves that are coming up left and right, the way that this bike is handling and performing so far is making me feel confident, and not that I'm, you know, gonna dread crushing 100 miles right now. The stock seat on this feels nice and squishy. It's got a nice back pillion on it, so I feel well glued to the bike. I mean, I'm going 90 miles per hour. It doesn't even feel like it. This thing is cutting through the wind. Woo-wee, these roads, boy. Let's go. We ain't in Florida no more. Downshift, engine brake, rolling on throttle. Very, very awesome platform. I think what makes this bike really good too right now is how user-friendly it is. Keep in mind, this is my first time ever throwing a leg over this bike. Now, although it is packed with technology, packed with features, if you're like a simple guy like me, where you just want to throw a leg over a bike, crush some miles, and keep it down to the basics, it offers that easeability to do so without having to worry about all of the features that this bike offers. So for me, having that ease of usability to just crush these miles, roads that I am unfamiliar with, on a bike that I'm unfamiliar with, and to be able to spend just a little bit of time in the beginning kind of getting everything dialed and feeling it out, and it be easy, I think is a huge, huge plus. I want to go over the ride modes. So to get there, you could either hit the settings right here in the middle. You can hit settings, and here you have your ride modes. You have rain, standard, and sport. We've been in standard, plenty of power, very linear. I'm gonna go ahead and click sport. So now I'm in sport. I'm gonna roll off the throttle. and then now it should be in sport mode. It also tells you in the top left of your display screen right here what mode you're in. You can tell that by twisting the throttle in sport mode, it really digs in and you can get to that power. Getting off the throttle, it doesn't dive the bike too much up front. Let go of the throttle, let it kind of glide, feel it out before you start dipping into that next turn. Very, very nice. For my kind of riding style, I can definitely see myself just leaving it in sport mode. Let's go ahead and switch this over to rain mode. Let go of the throttle so that way it can program itself right into it. And off the jump, oh my God. Let me lower the gears a little bit here. You can definitely feel that it's well forgiving on the throttle, just to make sure that you don't whiskey throttle on a slick road. But also, it's good if it's your first time on the bike and you want to pop it in the rain mode just to kind of get used to the bike. The throttle response on it is slow, but that's what it's designed to do. I'm going to go ahead, settings, put that back into sport mode. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's kind of like a loading screen, like on an Apple computer. If I let go of the throttle, and now I'm in sport mode. Oh yeah, look at that. You could probably even just hear it alone in the motor. Couple other settings on there. You got your brightness control, which is nice, and you can toggle of a switch. There's traction control right there, so you can turn that off if you feel the desire to. Let's say I want to go run and do a bunch of burnouts, keep it in sport mode, turn traction control off. I should be able to brake that rear tire for fun. And if I didn't bring it up, there is cruise control on this bike, so if you go ahead and push that toggle in, you'll see that this illuminates like orange here, meaning that cruise control is ready. If you flip that toggle on the right control housing to the left, you set it. If you flip it to the right, you'll reset it. But so let's say if I'm going about this much speed and I click that over to the left, now there is a green illuminated cruise control light and you are hands-free cruise control dialed in. Twisting the throttle allows you to kind of pass, and then when you let go of the throttle, it'll go back to the speed that you had it set. If you click it right, you'll increase the speed. If you click it left, you'll decrease the speed of the cruise control. You'll click that in, it'll disengage the cruise control. All right, we stopped over on the side of the road. The follow car's giving a bit of fuel to some people who needed some fuel. Every time we stop and then I start looking at the bike, I always start noticing other things too that I want to make sure that I cover. You actually get adjustable levers. So you click that and you can kind of bring the levers forward or farther away from you. I don't need fuel yet, but if you want to, you just click that up front and that kind of opens up the flap. Another thing that I noticed was down here is pull this out. This should be for heated gear. So that's kind of nice that that's already built in right here into the fairing. I actually really like this seat. It's super comfortable. All right, let me throw a leg over. I do want to say that I have been riding at high RPMs. I've been doing some hard accelerating, consistently high speeds. The heat from the motor doesn't seem to be cooking my legs, so I feel like that's a really good sign. It's a little bit bumpy right now, and I will say the suspension is just eating up these bumps. You don't hear my voice shaking or anything. I will say that the suspension on this bike is performing very nice. So this is a cool feature. You can see that the rear cylinder is shut off. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's not going to cook your legs, but I'm pretty sure the main reason for that is just so it can help regulate and manage the temperatures of the motor. The moment I blip the throttle, it turns off, both cylinders are engaged. So I want to go over one of the nice features of the bike hold active. So if I'm in neutral, we're kind of at a downhill slant. So if I disengage it, I start to roll the bike forward, which, you know, it's hard for me to hold it because I'm not flat footing. But if I squeeze the brake, you'll see it says bike hold active, and now it's holding the brake pressure and I don't have to worry about the bike rolling forward. So again, if I let go of the front brake, since we're on a slant, the bike will want to go forward. But then if I hold the brake in, this will turn green, so it says bike hold active. I can let go, chill here in neutral, knowing that the bike's not going to roll forward on me. If I want to disengage it, I'm just going to press the brake, and then now the bike is rolling again up front. So very cool feature. All right, I know we're on our way to get to our lunch spot, and then I believe shortly after lunch we're all going to switch bikes. So let me go ahead and give you some of my closing thoughts here. I think the value per dollar you get with the Indian Chieftain, with the technology, the styling, the performance, I really enjoyed riding this thing. The ergonomics of this right now, it's not too aggressive, but it's not too laid back. So it's a very good position where it feels sporty, but it's very relaxed if I need it to be relaxed. The dual disc fronts and the Brembos offer really great responsiveness, but you also have a very smooth linear touch to the brake. The PowerPlus 112, based on my experience, seems like a great platform. The fact that I could just be running all the way high into the RPM range in every gear and it still has power delivery is an amazing experience. So it has no problem getting up to speeds, sustaining speeds. The engine heat didn't seem to bother me at all after riding for an hour and a half. The suspension feels great. I like my suspension to be working when I'm a little bit higher speeds doing turns. Having this bike feel stable and planted to the ground in that sort of application really sells it for me. Absolutely perfect for crushing miles. The wind didn't fatigue me out. I didn't really actually feel the wind on me at all. I'm a bit shorter of a guy, but again, if you're a bit taller, you have that adjustable windshield that comes all the way pretty high if you need to. And the way that the weight is distributed on this bike as you're doing curves really feel well balanced. I always get nervous that on bigger bagger bikes, dropping the bike if I'm doing a U-turn, dropping the bike if I feel like I'm dipping it too much in a curve. The weight distribution and the way that this bike handles at high speeds and in curves or at low speeds and doing turns handles very well. I'm a shorter guy, so those are things that I tend to get worried about. And the fact that I'm able to handle that at 5'6", a little bit lighter of a guy at 125 pounds and still feel comfortable to zip this thing around at low speeds and high speeds really makes me feel confident in this bike. I really like the styling of all the Indian bikes, from their Scout lineup into the Touring, and you can totally tell with their inspiration from American Muscle how they implement that into the style of these bikes. You know, late 60s, early 70s, body lines of American Muscle are iconic. I love the way the cars looked then, and the fact that they took inspiration from that, implemented that into the styling of their family of Indian motorcycles. They look really, really good. The technology packed into these bikes is insane. All right, we parked. Let me get off the bike, continue my closing thoughts here on the Indian Chieftain. One more look at the Indian Chieftain. It's been great. You just get so much technology, so much performance, so much style. And even from there, Indian offers a ton of accessories, so much even more that you could do to these bikes. If you guys have any questions that maybe I didn't go over, ask them in the comments below. The thing about these events is like they're kind of run and gun. You get to experience the bike, you get to ride for about 1-2 hours, but to cram so much information, you guys gotta bear with me. I'm doing as much as I can, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it and it was insightful. Big shout out to Indian for allowing us creators to come out here, give us an opportunity to test ride these bikes through the middle of the desert in Nevada. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, hit the thumbs up. It lets YouTube know that we're doing a good job here. Hit the bell icon so you continue to see more motorcycle content here on the Blockhead channel. Till next time, guys, ride safe, stay vigilant. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.